Hi, I'm Tabitha Williams, and welcome to What's Eating Harlem. We cover the most exciting community in the world. There's so much happening in Harlem. Let's get started.
Our duck buns, which are duck confit.
The B Square Harlem restaurant is serving up great dishes after their rebranding. And downstairs, Harlem Speakeasy, room 623, has the vibe of the Harlem jazz clubs of the past.
The burgundy you're wearing, is very strong. So I think this one is complimentary. Like, I'm really not into the, matchy thing.
Marc Williamson, the eclectic founder of the Flame Keepers Hat Club, joins us again after 8 years. All of that and more coming up next.
This program is made possible by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company, the Harlem Community Development Corporation, and by the West Harlem Development Corporation. Solutions through collaboration.
Since our first visit with Adriane Ferguson, the longtime Harlem restaurateur has rebranded her business twice. Even after the devastating COVID-19 pandemic, her restaurant is still standing. In the beginning, the restaurant was called Billy's Black, then rebranded as B Square. Hello, Adriane.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for welcoming What's Eating Harlem into your wonderful space. So please, tell us about your restaurant.
Oh, wow. It's been a journey. It's 16 years, so this is actually my second interview with What's Eating Harlem. So I know that you guys have been keeping up with us and what's been going on and changes and growth and, of course, post-COVID.
It's Sweet 16.
Sweet 16, yes.
So let's talk about it. We're talking about B Squared. Now, we've been with you and we've seen the evolution. Tell us about the evolution of B Squared.
The restaurant originally opened 2006, known formally as Billy's Black. In 2016, I knew that I wanted to do a more elevated kind of cuisine to offer the community. I decided to renovate, revamp the menu, hire a Beard Award-winning chef. We have been rolling along still up to now in 2022, and the food now is more of a seafood fare as opposed to when it was Billy's Black, it was soul food. So to my surprise in coming up with this, there was not one seafood restaurant in Harlem.
There was not one.
Not one, not in 2016.
And so you found your niche and a little hidden gem.
Yes.
Tell me, what is that like for you as a Black woman, as an entrepreneur in Harlem? What is that like?
It's tough, but it's part of your making, meaning that being a person of color, you are, if you will, almost used to obstacles and challenges, and you just keep going, because there isn't an option of failure for you. So you have to have the tenacity to just keep going.
And while we talk about your perseverance, what types of obstacles did you face and how did you navigate your way through?
A wing and a prayer. Literally, a lot of times you kind of assess the situation on what your true capabilities are, and you keep moving according to that.
What's next for you?
Oh, what's next? I'm looking to expand. Right now we have the new speakeasy, which is the room that we're in now. It's called Room 623. It speaks to jazz, it speaks to tradition, old time music, prohibition, if you will, all over 100 years later, so to speak. And elevating the need for musicians to be recognized in their craft. So we have a space that really lends to artists being able to create and share and keep jazz alive.
And why is jazz so passionate to you? Why are you so passionate about jazz?
Jazz is reminiscent of Harlem. I mean, you can't have a place in Harlem that doesn't have jazz. To me, I mean, I'm born and raised in Harlem. It's part of the culture of America, if you will. I mean, it truly is a instrument, no pun intended, of life. You know, you cannot thrive without music in any culture, and jazz speaks to American culture. It speaks to Black culture. So yeah, this is what it's supposed to be.
I love it. I love the decor here. As soon as I walked in, I said, "Oh my gosh, I love the salon."
Transported.
Instantly, instantaneously transported. And before we venture into the jazz music and all that dwells within, I really want to go back and talk about the food. Tell me about your menu.
The menu is superb in the sense that we have created meals, appetizers, if you will, that speak to just enjoyment, pure enjoyment. I mean, when do you really have a chance to go out somewhere and you say, I want that because I had it or somebody told me about it, because of literally how it tastes. So it speaks for itself. And that's the greatest joy of having a restaurant, that people actually enjoy what it is that you're presenting.
Well, if there's one thing that we all can use and need in this world, it's joy in our lives. And so I want some of your joy in my life. Let's go upstairs and have some of that good food.
All right, let's go.
All right. Adriane, everything looks so good. I did a happy dance as you approached the table. I'm like,
oh yes,
it's time to eat.
It's time to eat.
Okay, so tell me what we have here.
Okay, so this is the star of the show. This is our catfish strips that we've literally had on the menu from day one. So this is 16 years of good eating. Next we have our duck buns, which are duck confit, which is like shredded duck. We have carrots and cilantro. This is our lobster tagliatelle, which is a half a lobster with black squid ink. And it's with a lobster cream sauce. So yeah, this is
There's
the
a reason
good
I
stuff.
had a happy dance. I mean, everything looks so good, and it's kind of like, where do I start?
Ooh-wee.
And the colors.
Well, you have to start at the beginning.
Okay, here we go.
You're gonna
So
need a
tender.
nap.
It's so juicy. The sauce is everything. I may need a nap after that, but honestly, I just want to keep eating. I mean, it's just really that good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, we gotta go. I'm eating. After our fabulous dinner at Brunch Harlem, we went downstairs to room 623. The Speakeasy Jazz Club Adriane opened, and we'll speak to creative director, host, and MC Marcus Goldhaber. Hi, Marcus. So
Hi.
Please tell me about your experience as the creative director and host of Room 623.
Well, it's a role I have grown into out of an idea I had to revitalize a lot of the late night experience of live jazz that I experienced as a musician when I first moved to New York. And so when I first met Adriane at the end of 2018, I was really looking to create a space that would support this positive, immersive jazz joy that I used to hang out at and kind of live around a lot when I first moved here. And that slowly I just started to see it disappear over the past 20 years. And so when I met Adriane and then discovered this space down here, I knew this was going to be the home for it. And so it started to grow and build, and you say, well, let's try this and let's try that, and then all of a sudden a weekly gathering of some colleagues that I had worked with throughout the years, and now it's bringing in people and audiences are coming, and all of a sudden now I'm overseeing this growing garden of healing and just beautiful community energy. So it's been a very organic process.
If I was coming here for the first time, what could I expect to just blow my mind?
I think that the first thing that you feel is positivity when you walk in the room here, and it's through music, it's through jazz, and through generosity and that common ground that we all can find there, that people first experience. And I think that's what would first touch you when you walk in the room, and that's been our goal from day one. It's like if I'm gonna sing a song that was been performed 500 times, 5,000 times, it was written 100 years ago, the first question I ask myself is, well, why am I singing it? What am I gonna bring to it? So if I'm gonna start, again, it wasn't necessarily a jazz club at the very beginning, but it quickly became that, and I was constantly asking myself, well, what are we gonna do that's different? What's missing? What do people really want? And what's gonna provide the most healing?
Marcus, in his own right, is quite the performer.
I don't mind the afterwards when lovers get much closer, as long as I keep falling down with no weight on my shoulders.
Will you tell me a little bit about tonight's performance?
Absolutely. It does not get much more rooted in jazz history than when I say the name Shiela Jordon. We're very lucky to have Shiela here. She's a jazz legend on so many different levels. And I've known her for about 5 years. We've been able to get to know each other a little bit more, and it's her stories that she's sharing with me anytime we're together are amazing, like beyond amazing, because she's telling me stories from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. She's telling me stories about clubs in Harlem that definitely don't exist anymore, and that nights that used to start at around midnight and go until 4 or 5. So it's a real treat to have it all come full circle, to have her here tonight at room 623.
As Marcus told us, we now get to hear some of the fantastic back-in-the-day stories the legendary jazz singer Shiela Jordon has to tell. Oh, and we get to hear her sing too.
Free, I'm feeling so free. No one can make a mic clap his hands like we do. I need to make brains blast like they have a dose of crack. Battle every track till they have a rap attack, and I'll rap. rap. That's the passion I have. Are you mad? Cause it's part of my genes. I had to count our position. 1, 2, there's no more competition. Boom. Scoobity bop, watch the bomb explode.
The bomb explode.
Riding for my bros, so I put a show. Grabbing the mic to speak about our dreams. Cause this is how we roll. How we roll.
I'm waking up. I rise from where I start. Hey, I get around. Stay true all of the time. Oh, here's your chance. Come and take it. Don't be scared. There's no limitation to revelation and inspiration. Yeah.
Scoobity bop, watch the bomb.
What's Eating Harlem wants to get you involved. Visit our website, www.whatseatingharlem.com. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like our Facebook. You like my style? Well, you can get a piece of your own. We're back with Marc Williamson of Flamekeepers Hat Club. He's going to tell us all about how he's been surviving during the pandemic. Bold, wild, fresh, fly describes everything about the Harlem-based Flamekeepers Hat Club. Marc Williamson, the eclectic founder of the Flamekeepers Hat Club, joins us again after 8 years and a pandemic. His hats are still in high demand, and his hat store is still thriving.
I had just opened when you guys had first started shooting, so it was a great experience. I mean, we've been open 8 years now, which is we're very grateful for, thankful for. The Harlem community has been great. The worldwide community has been great in supporting us and keeping us here, and the doors open and shipping packages and everything like that. So I would say the first time that we shot with you guys, I mean, it was a super experience. Again, like we were brand new, open, didn't have as much product here, you know, just poised for growth. And What's Eating Harlem was definitely a part of that growth. Like that show, being on that show and that show being broadcast, I mean, initially it had a crazy, significant impact, but then surprisingly to me, you know, a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, I mean, there were still people calling us and coming in from all around the country who said they had heard about us from being on What's Eating Harlem. And I just, you know, they would call right after they saw it. Oh, I just saw you on the TV show. Well, keep up the great work, so on and so forth. So it's been awesome for us, and we are super grateful. We have all walks of life. You know, we have construction workers to, you know, presidents of countries, you know, to Hollywood actors, notables of all types. But I mean, definitely our credo, our way of thinking is that everyone is of note, you know, to us. And anyone who walks through the door, anyone who calls us on the phone, anyone who places an order, you know, they're a person of note to us. So, all celebrities, but yeah, I mean, we get athletes, you know, movie stars, comedians, tourists from all over the world. I mean, we've been fortunate enough to be included in a lot of travel books, so we get, you know, people from France, Italy, you know, Canada, Africa, you know, all over.
And surprisingly, many of his most creative clients are women.
45% of our clientele are women, even though we don't do quote unquote like the church lady hats or very frilly hats, but we have a super strong female following, you know, definitely that we're very proud of, and again, grateful for, because they really, a lot of times women will show men how it could be done, you know, and I say that because women are way more fearless when it comes to fashion. You know what I mean? They change their styles a couple of times a year, change your haircut, change the color of the makeup you wear, so on and so forth, and they do it, without abandon. Some men, 10% of the men out here are dressers and stylish. So if you aren't, from that ilk of things, like, it takes you a while to change your style, to reinvent yourself. Like I say in here often, men will get the same haircut for 20 years, and won't change it up. So, but like I said, the dresses and like I said, the women definitely play a big role in the success of Flamekeepers Hat Club.
Since we've been talking about personal style, help me select something that's really just gonna make my whole outfit pop.
Okay. Well, I've had something in mind since you stepped in the door, so let's see if I got it right.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
I see we're sticking with the color trim.
Well, yes. Only because the burgundy you're wearing, is very strong. So I think this one is complementary. Like, I'm really not into the, matchy thing, but I think this one, this color, especially with the earrings and everything else with the burgundy, I think it brings it out with the lips as well. So yes.
Here we go. What do you guys think? Now, do I bend the brim? Do I leave it?
Well, you can wear it up like this, but I would say most women tend to like it down. Yes. Like, okay, you can wear it like this if you're out walking your dog, or if you're going, quick grocery shopping. It's one of those type of deals. If you when you're with your tank top and your jeans rolled up, running, have it up like this. But if you are going out,
keeping it with the Harlem style.
Yes, if you're going something like that, then you break that brim down, just enough so get little shade, but so they can see your eyes and everything too. So.
What do you guys think?
I think it's thumbs up.
The variety, quality, and style of his hats are endless.
When you find a hat that's good for you, because again, I don't believe that there's one style that's good for a person. There's going to be a couple of styles and you just have to be open to it. But when you find a style that really works for you and that's really great for you, I tell men and women, but really for men, it's like you'll feel the same way you feel when the barber spins you around in the chair and you get from a fresh haircut. When you sit down in the chair, you're like, okay, you may think I'm handsome, I look good, but once he slaps the powder on your neck and he spins you around, you're like, whew, okay, I needed that. And that's the same way a good hat or a cap should make you feel when you look in the mirror.
Oh yeah, I like this. Hello. At the end of the day, Marc is all about love for his customers and community.
We are nothing without the people who support us, and support could be buying our product. Support could be telling someone about us, even if you don't wear hats. I get support from my neighbors. Like one example, I have two neighbors who live right down the block, and they were telling me, oh, you need to, change the sign and put, hours, this and that, because there are people who are older and who are not on the internet and who don't do this and that. And so I was like, and then they were right. So, they're telling me what I may be doing wrong. That's support. You know what I mean? That's love. So we are here definitely because of the collective effort of people who really want to see us make it. I'm an example of what's possible. So I'm an example of what's possible for entrepreneurs of color who are thinking of doing it now, who are doing it, and they're going, and we're all in this fight together. I want to be an example of what's possible for the little kids when they're going home from school every day, who may not even know what they're dreaming of or aspire to, but, maybe 10 years from now, when they are aspiring to something, they may say, oh man, I remember that store was on that corner, when there wasn't a lot of retail up there, and, they kept, a store, a space that was immaculate, and, they had items that were awesome and high level, and they represented the culture, wholeheartedly and magnificently. So that's really what I want to leave. That's what I want to be remembered as doing, in the future.
That's all we have for now. Join us next time on What's Eating Harlem. See you uptown.
This program was made possible by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company, the Harlem Community Development Corporation, and by the West Harlem Development Corporation. Solutions through collaboration. Also by the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce and Harlem Park to Park.